talking to myself, do you want to know what kind of day this has been? Tune in to a minute and a half of this show. Let's go. That's how excited I am. Talking about how excited I am about this damn game. And unfortunately, I apparently didn't want you to hear it. But, I appreciate each and every one of you. Appreciate you, Philly Sports, for yes, I am. Look, appreciate all of these new comments. EJ, Theo, Latif, never heard of you guys before, but appreciate you taking the time. Really apologize I was muted, but really thank you guys for pointing that out, or I would have just kept talking all damn night. But yes, laugh out loud. Glad you can hear me loud and clear, because I've been screaming from rooftops for over a year, and I just don't know how people haven't been able to hear me. Maybe I've been muted this entire year, but now you see it. Everybody's on board now. Eagles fans, let's go 4-0. You know it. The prophecy is being laid out in front of those who wanted to doubt it, and they are now having to suffer through it. And I love every second of it. All the crappy videos we had to watch about, how Hurts doesn't have arm strength, how Gannon's switching to a defense he already ran, how Howie isn't one of the best GMs, even though he is. It was a tough offseason, man, but we got through it. We're 4 games in, a quarter away. And look, this team, we talk about having a lot of growing pains, but as long as we end up with 4 wins, we're good, right? Well, we had those growing pains. Now we keep building. Now you take on the Cardinals, the Cowboys. You have some really tough opponents, and you just keep building. So that's all I was really going over in that first minute, but appreciate you guys pointing that out. I've been having issues with this laptop. I don't know if you guys caught that video the other day, but it wouldn't turn off, and it caught me dropping the old F-bomb right at the end there. So apologize for that, but man, this thing wants to take me to places that I don't want to go. But this was my fault. I had it muted. Look, let's be real here. We're going to get into Victory Monday tonight, but if you have any questions, any comments that you have, please feel free to throw them my way, whatever it may be. Truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for pointing out the muted. And look, you guys that are commenting, that you are allowed to comment about the Eagles too. You guys have anything on your mind? You want to talk about Hurts? You want to talk about the Eagles defense, Hassan Reddick, any of the things I've been talking about for over a year? Please feel free. Let me know how you're feeling about this, because I'm on cloud 9 right now. Appreciate you, Latif. I really do, man. And, I love anytime a new person comes in, I always want them to talk. And look, I understand some of you guys don't, like to comment too much, and that's perfectly fine. But as I tell those people, you can always reach out to me in the, whether it's Twitter DMs, Facebook, whatever. I'm always down to talk some birds with you guys. So don't be a stranger here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm always messing up, so feel free to let me know nonstop, but also let me know when you're enjoying this content. Let me know if there's anything I could ever do for you, because we all go through things at times, and I'm always just trying to say that because I mean it. I go through stuff all the time. This disease does not make my life easy, and I just want to say that so I know that you guys know I'm here for you, because I can't thank you enough. And anybody who is, maybe this is your first time tuning in, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time. And that's all I wanted to say on that matter, but truly appreciate each and every one of you. Let's keep building this channel. Let's get people to be Eagles fans. Let's get people rooting, and the ones that say they're Eagles fans, let's get them rooting for the Eagles. Let's start teaching people what football is, at least the ones that talk like they're experts. Let's get them on board with understanding how football works. I think if we can do that, we can change the game here. And that the media is, we're trading for Deshaun Watson, Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, everyone under the sun except for Jalen Hurts. And they're having a rough offseason. You guys saw before the game, I made a post, and it was like, this is the big, what did I say? I forget exactly how it went. Something about this is a must win for the media today. Your whole offseason was complete garbage. We need you to get something right here. But, it will still go. People will be like, yeah, but this guy told me. And it's like, okay, but did they get anything right? Because I'm not going to start listening to those people until they do. So let's get into this. The Eagles bring in an offensive lineman today. They did not hesitate. And we already lost Andre Dillard on the IR. We're going to find out. Probably have to wait till Wednesday. You know how the Eagles roll with their injuries. So once the injury report comes out on Wednesday, I will have you up to date with all of those injuries, not just Mailata, but we'll talk about Elliott, Slay, everybody, Boston Scott, Avonte Maddox, who missed the game. So I'll keep you up to date with everything that's going on. But as of now, nothing. So we do know Mailata, though, was banged up. Love to see Driscoll come in there. Beautiful. I'm sure Josh Sills will be dressed next game, not inactive like he was. So not too overly concerned about it. Look, do I want one of the best left tackles in the game? Yes, of course I do. But next man up, just like in the Super Bowl year. So don't care. Now, Tyrese Robinson, this is a familiar face to some of the players on this team. Started with Jalen Hurts in 2019 at Oklahoma. And this is just, he was brought onto the practice squad. This is another depth piece, just ensuring if anything else were to happen, we have guys in place. You always have to have a plan in place. And I know people get a lot, they get a little overreactionary here to certain moves. And it's like, look, these are the moves that have to be made to ensure that your team succeeds. So this is not, he's not coming out. He's not our new starting left tackle. He is going to the practice squad. So undrafted free agent out of Oklahoma. Washington had him this year. And there was a headshot of him. He looked miserable in that picture. Don't blame him for that, but didn't want to use that one. Don't feel bad for the kid. So 6'3", 324 pounds, only 23 years old. And as I mentioned, we played with Jalen, but he's got that versatility that we love. Started out as a guard, but ended up playing, I think he started 2 games at right tackle, and then the next year he started like 12 games there. So he has definitely got that versatility that we are always looking for. So Tyrese Robinson, man, hey, you never know with the right situation what anybody can do. It doesn't matter. Offense, defense, given the right situation. And now, maybe he's friends with Hurts and all these other, you never know what it could do, but best of luck to him. And we have a few Sooners on this team now. So I threw together a little list of the Jalen Hurts crew here. So you've got Kennedy Brooks on the practice squad, Calcaterra, Hurts, obviously Lane Johnson, Trey Sermon on the active roster. But now on the practice squad, you add Tyrese Robinson. So making Jalen Hurts feel comfortable here. And look, like I said, he's only played with a couple guys, but I love it, man. I love that we're building around him. You heard all offseason, the Eagles would never build around Jalen Hurts. They would never give him a receiver. They would never see if he would develop. I tend to disagree, and I still do. So ready to see people changing their tunes real quick about this team. How we'll need to do a better job off next season than this past one. No, actually. See, and that's what the media got tricked people. Yeah, one of the best. I mean, he had the best offseason out of any GM. So, no, the media is going to have to do a better job of misguiding people. I remember the first week when they said, see, the Eagles are the next Browns. They didn't trade for Tyreek Hill. They didn't give all their money away and picks for Deshaun Watson. And I was like, we're going to have to teach people about football, aren't we? So I set out to teach people why Howie Roseman was a great GM. I taught them how the salary cap works, how we were going to trade for someone like A.J. Brown, how we could get James Bradbury, Kaiser White, how we could draft Jordan Davis. And then not only did all of those things. So I'm giving him an A++, and then another A++ on top of that. And then the year before, how great was that one too? So 2 fantastic years. And that's how I was able to last year say that the Eagles would be building a dynasty this year. So I know a lot of people got misguided there, but I've been doing my best. I'm glad you found me, Lonely Bee. Hopefully we can get you on the right track because we're trying to do it with the media, that's for sure. My man, Dante in the building. What is going on, my dude? Hope you enjoyed that game. What a nail biter down to the wire. Slopfest 93. Loved it, though, man, and really appreciate you coming on this weekend. Had a great time, dude. Tyrese, a depth piece, good security. Yes, and yes, he is, my man. You know exactly how this goes. People overreacting to something where it's like it's a practice squad. And if he's good, cool. Maybe he'll make the active roster. But we'll see what happens to Mailata. If he gets placed on IR, you're going to have an active roster spot. So let's get into this list, actually. Let me show you here. I've got the updated list of the practice squad. So you've got a few offensive linemen that you can, actually bring up before you would actually have to do this. So we'll see, man. But let me get this here. So you obviously you took off Britton Covey. He is on the active roster now. So that is why there was an open spot. But you now have those 3 or 4 offensive linemen, I believe, in Roderick Johnson, Tyrese Robinson, Cameron Tom, and Jared Williams. So were anything to happen, you have versatile guy that can play multiple positions. Love every second of it. You still got those couple receivers there. Kennedy Brooks, we mentioned, Dalton Keene, Auden Tate. So we've got a bunch of guys that could step in. You saw Andre Sacheret come in and kick some ass, do great on special teams. That's exactly what we needed him to do. So he provided that depth. This is what the practice squad is for, and you love to see it. So that is where Tyrese will go, and we will hope the best for him. And if we need him, which I hope we don't, maybe he gets brought up. But again, Josh Sills was inactive for this game. I think you just activate him. There's your depth piece. But they're going to figure out if they want to keep Driscoll there at left tackle. We've talked about that before. I know people feel he has too short of arms, but I thought he did phenomenal yesterday. So maybe he stays there. another Oklahoma guy, another guy who played with Jalen. Yes, indeed, my man Sean. So, look, some excitement here. They played in 2019 together, and I'm all about it. Yeah, and if that's it. When you have Jeff Stoutland, you remember when we were talking about the coaching staff change, it was like they talked about Alabama. I think Doug Marrone or somebody was Doug Marrone got the job instead of him, but he was going to go back to Alabama or something like that. And I was like, I will jump off a cliff. Do not. So I was beyond excited about that. So let's go. Yeah, man, we sure did. What a great game it was. And, like I was saying, I don't think that you guys aren't a good team. I think you guys have a very bright future. I just think right now, the better team. And, I made a tweet. I don't know if you saw it, but I was like, people were saying like, oh, we're losing because of the injuries, the refs. And I was like, I don't care if we're missing our left tackle, 2 starting corners. I don't care about any excuses, any injuries. You should be able to step it up, next man up. And that's exactly what the Eagles did. So 2 very great teams going head to head. And then we've got ourselves another tough test next week. But Arizona hasn't been looking that great, and I'm not afraid of them. I can tell you that much. Like the idea of getting Stoutland, some young guys to mold and see what he can do with them. Yeah, I love it every year when we add players, for Stout to mess with. And, that's why I make these shows. And, obviously the following's getting much bigger this year, but a lot of times people get really thrown off by things like that. Like, oh, I knew Lane Johnson was getting benched. And you're like, that is literally not what's happening at all. But the media, man, they will get these people twisted, dude. And it's like, I'm not going to do that. So one of your keys was running the ball. We didn't. Yeah, you definitely didn't. Got away from that. I know we didn't run the ball in the first half, and that's why we were losing. So it's funny. You turn that around, start pounding that rock. And boy, did Miles Sanders show why he is one of the top backs in the game. I loved every second of that. Jalen Hurts not having to do much, but when called upon, but that defense. People, I've spent all offseason trying to teach them about it, trying to teach them about Hassan Reddick, doing my best. I think they found out yesterday. Jags want to make Trev the superstar, so it's bad. Robinson's real. Hey, man, when I had you on the show, we talked about it. You're right, man. You pound the rock with James Robinson, got your West Coast offense, dink and dunk with Lawrence when you have to, but use Robinson, use Etienne. And I mean, I guess, when you've got some monsters like the Eagles do, maybe it's not necessarily so hard, but thought they were doing okay with it at first. It was wild to see Doug go away with it. I thought maybe the nerves got to Doug a little bit being back in Philly. I know that's got to be tough. So you love to see it, man. Well, I'm not saying you love to see it, but Eagles fans, we are excited. So 4-0. We keep building on this. We've got Arizona, but that's all I've got the news for you on Tyrese Robinson. I will be back tonight. We will be doing On the Road to Victory Monday tonight, talking about the game, talking about the new standings, all that great stuff. And then tomorrow, I will be back behind enemy lines. That's right. We enjoy the win for 24 hours, and then we move on. We're talking about Arizona, getting to know Zach Ertz and friends, from offense to defense to the coaches to their stats to their rankings to conference standings, whatever you need to know about the Eagles' Week 5 opponent, I will be filling you in. And then, of course, on Wednesday, I will fill you in with all of the injury reports, that great stuff. Thursday will be the top 10 matchups. Friday is Fan Friday, and it's going to be a great week. The weekend, I can't wait for that. We're going to hopefully have a guest on here. So let's go. It's time, baby. The world is put on notice. So I'll be back later tonight. I hope to see you all then. Dante, thanks for tuning in today, my man. And again, thank you for coming on. If you guys missed that show, go check it out. I had a really great conversation with Dante about this game and just about life, man. It's a good dude. Go check him out. But thank you to Sharon, Lonely B, to Latif and EJ and everybody else, Theo, Philly Sports. I missed some of you guys. You were here in the middle for the muting, but missed you for the end. Maybe we'll catch you next time. I don't know. If not, until that time, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory 4-0. Don't forget. But until that next time, you stay safe out there. And as always, go Birds!